And after
Yeah,
that,
and then it was,
after,
but
yeah,
because it's against our rights, like you
right,
can't. You,
right after.
so the person who the two boys.
Real talk, real people, real conversation. Week to week, this the place to get your inspiration. Go and sit back and unwind, sipping on your coldest glass of wine. This the home of girl bosses and the warriors. Went from tragedy to triumph and it's glorious. Ain't no question if they ask, they got that fire. This the podcast that came to Aspire. Welcome to Aspire Podcast, home of the real talk, real people, real stories. Give it up one time for y'all hosts, Sujay.
We're early and I don't care. Hey guys, on a special episode. It's Friday. It's not Friday Eve. It's not Thursday. It's none of that. It's Friday, and I got an amazing guest. We were just talking. We've been friends for like 25 years.
Yeah, close to it.
And I'm only 23. How is that possible? Anyway, so I want to introduce you guys to Darrell Pert. I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, Darrell.
Yeah, guys. So
Give
my
me-
name is
give me
Darrell
some
Peart.
story. Oh, I'm sorry. I
It's
always
fine.
mispronounce
Everybody,
it.
it's fine. No worries.
It's the truth. And I've known him for 100 years, so sorry.
Like I said, born originally in New York, raised here in Orlando, Florida. I'm a music business consultant, artist manager. I love helping independent artists navigate this crazy thing we call the music industry.
You do a lot
It's
more
my
than.
passion.
So listen, I don't even have written up questions, nothing, because I know you too much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you maybe a little slightly closer to the mic,
Okay.
just slightly. All right. I'm gonna need you to tell us more than first. You're a music consultant and manager. Listen, we're friends. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, like friends.
Okay. Okay.
Tell me more. So tell me, you're from New York. We're both originally from New York.
Yeah.
How'd you get to Florida? Tell me
So-
a little about your background before we get into
all right.
like what you do
So
now.
how did I get to Florida? So basically, moved to Florida in 1993. My mom decided that she wanted to get me out the snow because I have a disability, cerebral palsy. You know, have had this my whole life. You know, you can only have it from birth. So that's all I know.
But I don't want you to go super into detail, but
Okay.
tell people what that is because
Right.
I know what it is.
Right.
I've known you, but whoever
So,
doesn't know.
What
will
I have
find
is
out.
called spastic diplegia, which is the most common form of CP. There's like 5 different kinds. I don't know all the names off the top of my head.
We're good.
But for me, it affects mostly the lower half of my body, where so my legs mostly. Upper body, I have full range of motion. But again, it's caused by premature birth, lack of oxygen in the womb, that type of deal. And what's interesting is I have a twin sister, Keisha,
Yes.
and
Hey, Keisha.
so what's interesting is that we were born 7 pounds together, but
She got all the good things.
no,
huh?
she
No?
she stayed in the hospital like 7 weeks longer than I did, right? And then when I got taken home,
I've seen her.
you probably have.
Yeah, I've seen.
Well, she didn't go to Colonial.
No, I know, but
yeah.
I've seen her. Pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Keisha. Okay.
And she lives in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, she moved back to New York about 12, 13 years ago. But what's interesting is that I came home first, but at about a year old, my mom noticed that, and dad, they noticed that they had to put a pillow to hold my back up, so they kind of knew right then that something's kind of wrong. So, because Keisha was doing everything normal, that a normal 1-year-old would be doing. And so they took me to the doctor. They said, yeah, he has acute spastic diplegia, cerebral palsy, but time he's 3, he's going to walk. That's what she said. But I can walk, but they said I was going to walk. And then, obviously, that wasn't really what happened. And then at 5 years old, I had tendon release surgery. So when you're born with CP, you walk on your toes naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk on the sides of my feet. So That's what I had tendon release surgery for. And I was using a walker for like 2 years, and then in 1992 I started using crutches. I've been on crutches ever since.
That's how I know you.
Yeah, so these days I have a mobility scooter, makes it a little easier to get around to places. So
I was gonna ask you that, and
Yeah.
this is so off topic. I don't
Yeah.
care. It's my show, damn it.
Okay, okay.
But why don't you? Because you didn't even use one at
I didn't use
school.
one,
Was
yeah.
it to feel normal? Was it
No,
to
I just
feel
think
like
it just gives me a lot more independence, especially like
Okay.
going to going to. Look, I live on my own. I mean, I have
Yeah.
roommates, but I
Yeah.
live on my own. Nobody, nobody takes care of me, so I take care of myself, right? So this gives me the freedom to be able to go to the grocery store when I need to. I really got it for when I want to go to different events where I know I might be on my feet a long period of
Okay.
time. So now I have a mobility scooter. I had to fight to get that because my doctor did not want to give it to me, but I'm glad he did. And it's just been a blessing because it allows me to do a lot of more things.
I
on
gotta
my own.
ask this question.
Okay.
Because you getting interviewed. I may know the answer, but I want everybody.
Okay,
else to.
okay.
Like, do you feel? Because I don't feel like it has ever really, truly. Like, yes, people see you
Mm-hmm.
with crutches, but has it? Do you feel like it was something that hindered you growing up in terms of the things you wanted to do and the stuff that you're doing now?
No,
I agree.
the
with
only thing that CP has hurt me and affected my life in the biggest way is dating with women. That's the only thing.
that. Fuck these girls.
Because these women, because unfortunately, here's the issue, right? So I'm gonna be 1,000 with it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if a woman had their first choice, right? Me with a disability and another guy right next to me that's fully able-bodied, they're not gonna choose me. It's natural. It's not a woman's natural choice to choose me. For why? Because that's a road they have never really been. Most women have never been on that road before.
Do you think? I mean, I guess I could agree with that to a certain extent.
And
I think that personality would trump that for me.
You,
but
you
I'm
would
a-
think so,
but
let me tell you what.
You know how
I
am,
recently
so,
had
yeah.
I recently had a situation. Real time. This is real time. Just happened a couple months ago. So I met a girl online, and because I tend to pursue women that's a little bit older than me, right? Because I figure a woman that's in her late 20s to early 30s, especially in this generation, mentally.
What you doing with a girl in her 20s? Period. We're
I
talking
wouldn't.
that.
I wouldn't. But I'm just saying, like people like trying to date younger than us. But I usually try to
I don't
pursue
know.
women that's like 38 to 53. That's like my window. Feel like that's too old.
That's real specific.
Yeah.
though.
But,
I don't.
But no, but I'm gonna
He
tell you.
said
No, but,
53.
no, but I'm gonna
like,
tell you
what?
why though. I'm gonna tell you
Why?
why. Because in order to be with me, you have to have lived a little bit of life, a lot of life.
Well, you have to have a level of maturity.
Right, you have to.
understand
If you
certain things, yeah.
right, you have to because it's mental. It's mental more than it is physical because I physically take care of myself. Right. So I'm gonna give you guys a real life example. So I met a woman online. She's 47.
Mm-hmm.
This just happened a couple months ago. So she lives in Dallas, Texas. So I decided,
Where are you?
I said I'm gonna get on a plane
You
because
went to Dallas?
I went.
Hold on,
so-
let me get this wine.
So
okay.
so
Salud.
this is real time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I got on a plane
I'm laughing.
and I went to Dallas, and so now
Without
we
knowing her, how
No,
long did you
no,
speak? How long did you speak? You need to preface all
we
this.
spoke for about a month before I went out.
No,
but
you crazy.
We're not there.
No. I love you. I love you. You know I love you. But a month?
Yeah.
No, she's not. She's
I'm
not
gonna
a.
tell you why.
She's not
I
a
did.
plane ticket.
You know
worth
why?
it.
You know why I did that because
Okay.
I felt like if this is gonna quote unquote go somewhere,
Yeah.
at least I have to try. Because
I
at
get
this
it.
point in my life, it's been so difficult for me because, it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with in my life. By far.
That is why I ask these questions, not because really you're doing wonderful things now and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of people think that okay, you have this job, you have this career, and you just got here. It was just given to you somehow.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of adversity that
Right.
you've been through to get here. So
Exactly.
Sorry to interrupt,
No,
but go ahead with the story.
I fly to Dallas. And I get there.
Does
and
she
I-
pick you up?
She picked me up, but if I'm being honest, I
Where
can
is
kind
this girl
I
from
can
Dallas?
kind of tell like when she saw me because everything's found on the phone. Everything's found on
But
FaceTime.
does she know?
Yeah, she know.
So I don't understand that.
So she knew, and so this
Okay.
thing she left out that she should have told me before I even No, I didn't get catfish. She was who she said she was.
Okay.
Physically.
Okay.
She
Physically.
there's just certain things that
Catfish
again,
is not just physically.
I don't,
though.
but I don't. Again, I don't hate her. It is what it is. Like, cause you can't make somebody like you.
No, absolutely.
But so
not.
she picks me up at the hotel at the airport and we go to the hotel. And so the
I can't.
the,
because I already feel like it's
no,
a bad story. Go ahead.
no, so the we made a decision where I would pay for one night and she would pay for another.
You
night.
stayed. Hold on.
It was 2 nights.
Darrell?
No, I left
Darrell.
on the Saturday. I left on the Saturday and I came back on
I
Monday.
understand that, but y'all stayed together without. I don't
No,
know.
we didn't. No. Let me. I gotta tell the story.
Tell the story because
So-
you're making me anxious.
So, how much time we got? We good?
Listen, we're
All
good.
right. All right.
We want to know what you did and with who
All
and
right.
why.
So,
and where's this
I-
Dallas
I-
girl
and
now?
I'm leaving her name. I'm not gonna tell her. I'm not gonna
of
tell her.
course, no disrespect to her.
Name.
but Dallas.
So we get to the hotel, and first, so when she booked the room, she booked it in one of those discount
Okay.
apps. So,
Yeah, like a
but
like
but-
Expedia or something.
right.
Yeah.
But so I ended up having to pay for it, which is fine. I knew I was going to do that, but we couldn't book it back. I couldn't pay for it from the actual book. So basically, I had to pay what the hotel charges is different. What the discount, what the like
Of
booking.com.
course. You're,
So I
you're
ended-
looking at like a good $40 bucks.
So I
50
spent
bucks
like
different, yeah.
$100. The room should have been about $100. I ended up paying like $164. And this room is like a basic ass room. This is not even like this is like a basic hotel. Anyway,
Okay.
so she so she decides that she's gonna go home. Cause now I'm thinking, okay, I'm at the hotel. She's gonna stay in the hotel with me. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying?
That's not what I'd be.
Hold-
Maybe I'm a
hold-
little
hold-
weird.
hold
but
on.
yeah.
So
I don't know
so,
you strangers
okay,
that stay together.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. So
That's why I don't online nothing.
okay. So
No, thank you.
So so we decided that she was gonna go home and pack or whatever. Cause I thought that she was gonna come back to the hotel because we were gonna go do mini golfing. So anyway, so we get to the hotel
Cut to the chase, young
Get to the
man. I
hotel.
need to know the story.
and I could tell like I asked her to help me put my shoes on, and I could tell that like when she was helping me, it felt like a chore for her. A chore.
That makes me a little sad.
And so, like, you know, cause you could just tell. You could tell. Like there's women who are selfless, and it's gonna take a selfless. There's this between selfish and selfless.
But
It's
in
gonna
love,
take-
there's no selfishness.
Right.
So like a lot of
So-
people are like, I love you. I
Right,
care
and
for
that's what
you,"
I'm saying.
but
So a
that's
woman
not-
to be
that's
with
not
me,
a thing.
a woman to be with me, she has like it has to be. I love this guy. It can't be like it has to be. Love, you know what I'm saying? So I could tell at that point it was she really wasn't digging it, right? And then she proceeded to tell me, "Oh, you know what? I don't really like to drive." Now knowing that I don't drive, I done came all this way, and you're telling me that, yeah, you know, I don't really like to drive. Usually my friends drive, and okay, well, like whatever. Okay, so.
Sorry.
So
Woo! I
we-
need this wine because
we-
that's making me angry.
so we end up going to do mini golf
That same night.
the same night.
Okay.
We did mini golf. She paid for it. It was nice. She paid for that. Took a picture. We did that for a couple hours. We had some nice conversation. So we get back to the hotel, and she basically says to me, "Yeah, I don't really feel any romantic feelings towards you." So I mean, I felt you could feel it.
And that's fine because
Yeah.
she didn't. So
She was
if they were
honest.
online
I
dating,
can respect
exactly,
that. She was honest.
exactly.
I might not have liked it,
Mhm.
but I gotta respect it, right?
And you don't know until you physically.
Right.
That's how
what-
I feel.
Right.
Like,
So
I need to feel it
that's
out.
why I had to go because you on the phone. Everything is cool on the phone until you're like, okay. Once you get into the room, now you're gonna see the real if there's chemistry. Now you're gonna see.
I feel like Ant's part.
Now-
He's the
now-
third party here.
Now you're gonna see if there's chemistry.
Yeah.
So, well, that was only one night. We had one more night to go. So this was on the first night I got there. So now,
this turned into a whole different
So now,
podcast.
okay, so I end up getting in the hotel that I paid for by myself. So again, I'm in this room that I'm paying for by myself. She goes home because she decides she wants to spend the night at her crib.
Which I understand,
because she
though.
didn't want to leave the dog on, which I get it, whatever.
Yeah,
And we were gonna,
and you're a stranger. Like,
Right.
let's keep it real.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not staying with you, buddy.
but
I'm not. To each their own, but
So,
I'm not staying with
the
nobody
next-
that I don't know.
The next night we go to the casino. Now I'm not a real gambler, but you know, it was something she likes to do. You know, so like I'll go with her. So we drove to Oklahoma because Oklahoma is like in Texas is right there at the border, right?
Sure.
So we went to the WinStar. That's where a lot of people go to like have a good time and gamble, and a lot of Texas Cowboys. So we went there. We drove there, and you know we're just having, you know, she's gambling, doing her thing. I don't really gamble. I'm just kind of sitting there watching. And she, you know, but to her credit, she did pay for my meals. She did pay for those things, so I'm cool with that. But
I don't. So I'm going to
but
interrupt you.
hold on. But
Go ahead,
but
and I'll tell you what I
but
was thinking.
at at the end of the night, so they had to change our room. So they brought in a rollout bed. So she's in the rollout bed, and I'm in the bed next. I'm in my own bed next to her. So we go to sleep. I wake up the next morning. She's gone. Went back to the tables. Like she went back to play poker, and like left me there sleeping. Whatever. I'm like, cause I get up and she's like not there. I'm like, okay, where the hell she? Now she was nice enough to at least open my suitcase for me. That was nice. But at the end of the day, like it was no good morning. You know, like she was just kind of gone. And she stayed at the tables until he was about to leave. And so, you know,
This went real left real quick.
No,
with
so
this-
you know, we ended up paying for, you know, we ended up having breakfast again, which she paid for.
Do you think that paying for, because, okay, you're saying, oh, she was nice in paying for these things. I don't constitute money as using that as nice.
Right, I
I feel
feel
like
you.
sometimes when people do that, because, yes, that's a kind gesture.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I feel like in this circumstance,
Yeah, especially if it was romantic.
it was a
Yeah.
pity pay.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real.
Yeah, that's real talk.
It was I don't like him, but you know he's nice.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pay these things,
Right.
so that it doesn't feel
Facts.
that.
No, I agree with you.
Do you? Does it happen often? Those kind of things.
Happens. Here's what usually happens. Women, I feel women are attracted to me physically.
Okay.
I think it's I think it's mental. I think they're just afraid. You're ignorant to what you don't know. So if you've never been with somebody, it's one thing to have a friend that has a special need. It's another thing to be in a relationship with somebody. It's a whole different type of responsibility.
Okay.
And
I can understand that.
They're
Though.
just, you know, and so you have. So again, in order to be with somebody, and I can do a lot for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Some people out there are paralyzed; they can't do much for themselves at all. And I could do a lot for myself, and it's still difficult. And it's still difficult for me. And to the point now where I feel like, okay, because I've already given up on the fact that I'll probably never have kids of my own, which is okay. I'm okay with that.
Do you think that it's something that you really suffered through younger? Because I know young Darrell, I mean, we go back. I was only 5 when I met you, so I'm only 20-something now. But no, seriously, like, I know that young Darrell had the crushes, had
For
the
sure.
love, had the...
So let's go back to high. Let's go back to high
real
school.
quick, because I really want to go real quick. I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
I'm just trying to take people on the journey of like how hard, like how'd you get here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's not just because you're not your disability.
Right.
Half the time I forget. I'm not gonna even lie. Someone's like, oh, I think I know Darrell, the one with the crutches, and I'm like, and I had to think because I don't really see that when I see you.
Right.
You know, because we've known each other for so many years.
Right.
But a lot of people see that.
Yeah, they do.
So
Look, it's a real look. I can't fault a woman for not seeing that. It's real. Like let's not be naive. Like
Absolutely.
I have a disability. You have to be okay with that. Most women aren't. That's just what it is. Most women are not going to choose that.
I feel like people in general, I don't even think it's a woman thing.
No, but in this case, because we're talking about romantic.
Absolutely. And no, but I'm saying in general, if I was handicapped, I'm sure most men would feel the same way. What I think it is the fear of the unknown.
Yeah,
the fear
that's
of
exactly what it is. That's exactly
having more.
That's
to
exactly
do.
what it is. That's exactly what it is.
And for a woman, on a woman's perspective, it's probably like, well, usually, you know, in all things that the man takes care of a woman.
Exactly.
I don't really agree
Facts.
with that statement.
But it's what it is, though.
That is what.
And that's what a woman is.
Yes.
That's what a woman is conditioned and taught from a young
Exactly.
age.
Society
the man
has told
takes
us,
care of
exactly.
you.
And so to do that, I really feel like you have to be with someone who just is not really gender specific.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who is like, I'm my own woman.
So
and
she
I can
has
still
to. So
handle
I say this, like, so
Mm-hmm.
a woman who's operating her natural femininity is gonna want a man to protect and provide for her, provide for her, you know, right? So
I'm
and
a
so
little
so
different on
in,
that,
in
but yeah.
feminine. So in order to be with me, you kind of have to have a little bit of both. You gotta have because you have to have a nurturing aspect to you because I think women naturally are nurturers, men aren't. You know, that's why that.
I mean, my man is a nurturer.
Okay,
Like,
well, you know,
I'm kidding.
what do you think? I mean, most men, if we're in our natural state, we're not nurture. Like we're men. Like, you know, we're not really nurturers.
Not natural, but I think personality plays a role too.
Yeah.
So like some people, even though they're manly men, can definitely be
For sure,
the
but
nurturing kind,
because women will say, "I want an alpha guy, I want an alpha female, I want an alpha male."
I don't
And,
like
and
that.
usually if women who say they want an alpha, like, cause you gotta pick what you want. Either you want the alpha dude, or you want the guy that's gonna be more in tune with his emotions. It's a different type of personality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta choose what you want.
What has being in these situations, what has the Dallas girl, we're gonna call her that,
Yeah.
taught you or made you see what you don't want? So like there's times where you're like, all right, she was this and
Right.
maybe you liked her,
Right.
but when you met her, because you're allowed not to like her too, you know
Right.
what I mean? Maybe you didn't have, like, you know, the audacity that women have sometimes, and I'm gonna say it, I'm a woman, I can do that, is that we sometimes are like, well, I don't want him.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he didn't want you either. Like, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
Right.
oh, I'm gonna let him down gently. But
Right.
what, like, the thought of like, well, what if you were in the same boat? Like, oh, there's no romantic feelings.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
And I think people sometimes think that because you have a handicap, I don't even want to. I hate calling it that, by the way. But we're gonna call
Disability.
it that for whatever it is.
It's what it
Because
is.
you have that,
Yeah.
that like they have to let you down slowly.
Yep.
You haven't liked every woman. You've never liked me. Let's keep it real. I love you. I love you, but you haven't liked me. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Well, let's
don't
go.
start,
No,
Darrell.
I'm not saying that. I'm just going.
In the background, it sounds like you just too damn picky, bro.
No.
No, he's not.
No, it ain't
He's
that.
not picky.
It ain't that.
Picking her apart as soon as you walked in.
I know.
It ain't, bro.
I
ain't
know
that,
you.
bro.
You're not picky.
Yeah, it ain't that.
And you're allowed to be a little picky. You gotta date
No,
this
you could.
person. You gotta love
Yeah.
this person. But I feel like, do you feel like your voice isn't heard when women do that?
For sure. Because I mean,
Go ahead.
for them, you know, again, like you got again, it goes back to how they were conditioned, how they were. Because again, it's gonna take one who thinks outside the box
I agree.
and who sees the value in what I bring beneath the surface, right? Because again, women are taught men's supposed to be able to do man shit, you know.
But you do man shit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but just in general, like take care of certain things that men take care of in the house, like just different things that women don't have to think about.
Not these women. Listen.
I don't know what women you're dating.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what women he's dating, right?
It's the wrong lake.
nah,
Change the lake, dog.
Nah, I
So
don't
you know
think
what
it's that
it
either.
is? You know what?
Fishing in the catfish pond, bro.
No.
You fishing the river.
Listen, Aunt, you could get a mic. You could come out here. I'm just saying. What I want to do. So
Okay.
now, okay, you
Okay.
went through that.
Okay.
How do you really bridge the gap? Because now, okay, women see you like that.
Okay.
But you're in the entertainment business.
Right.
How do people perceive you there?
Oh, it's different because I bring value. You know, I didn't bring value in other situations, but I mean, they see my value and they know that, you know,
Why do you think it's different?
because it's just, I think it's more because it's professional. It's not necessarily like, you know, it's not necessarily.
I agree with you to a certain extent, though. In this industry, he does music, he does arts.
Yeah.
The entertainment industry is very, very vain.
Yes.
I'm learning that.
Yes, it is.
So
It
it's
is.
very vain. So I don't know that it's much different. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Maybe they respect you. You're bringing value. A lot of people you work with, in terms of management and things like that, are
Yeah.
they male?
Yeah, but I
you think
but
that
I
has
also
to
do,
do with it too?
but I do work with some female artists as
Female
well too.
artists, but that's different. Because
Yeah.
essentially you're working with them, they need you, right?
Yeah,
But when you're creating and cultivating relationships within the industry, they're
Yeah.
mainly male, and that's the difference.
yeah. Well, because I think the industry's male dominated.
I agree. That's why I'm
So,
trying to put. That's what I'm trying to say is, it's sometimes that women do like, and I'm sorry, it's just the truth.
Keep it 1,000.
Aesthetic.
That's
They want the pretty. They
real
want the
talk-
good looking. They
real-
want the
yeah,
this. They
real
want
talk.
that.
Let's be
it's the truth.
Let's
It's
be
the
honest.
truth. So like when
yeah.
men, they're not interested in you.
Yeah.
So they don't care what you look like, as
Yeah.
long as you're doing your job and keeping your word, because your word is your bond
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah.
But when it comes to women, that's why I wanted to say that. That's what I'm
Okay,
telling you.
okay.
It's different. So yes, if we were in a female-dominated industry, would you be at the level that you are? Do you think? That's a tough question, but it's true.
It's true.
I could say it because I'm a female and I
Yeah.
know what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like in this industry, I have learned, and
Right.
because it was a culture shock for me, because you know me, like I love everybody. I'm really
Yeah.
like, okay. And I don't really see imperfections as ugly, you know?
Okay.
But when you deal in this industry with women, you're smiling because you know I'm right.
Yeah.
Is you gotta speak. Is it true?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why you excel at this business, in the sense you have the talent and you have the knowledge and all of that.
Right.
But it doesn't get taken seriously by women. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just saying the truth.
Yeah.
Unless they need you,
Yeah.
unless they're the talent that needs
Yeah.
the management that
Right.
needs exactly.
That's true. That's real.
Why do you think that is?
Because it's just the nature. It's the nature of the beast. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like.
If you could do anything to change that, what would it be?
Well, like I said, it depends because again, like if you're chasing the industry, in my opinion, when you're chasing the music industry, you're essentially asking for permission. Basically saying, "Hey, tell me I'm good enough," you know.
That is what I wanted you to say. Thank you.
Tell me I'm good enough,
It's that, right?
or well, yeah, but again, if you actually want to be in the music business, who cares what the industry has to say? That's it.
And what's the difference for you?
Because, well, let's break it down, right? So the music industry is like record labels, influencers, you know, the kind of people who kind of built careers around it, right? Which is cool. Because this is a people business. You need people. It's a people industry, right?
And unfortunately, like the vanity of it
Right,
all is
right,
real. It's
right.
true. Yes.
Then the music business is commerce. That's sales, right? That's selling product,
amen.
right? So, and then the business of music, that's intellectual property and copyrights. So
Okay.
you have to navigate those things all differently. So an artist who is trying to get signed to a label, they are chasing the industry. And a lot of times these record companies today, they don't even really know, half time they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just kind of,
He said it.
I mean, it's true though. A lot of them don't know really, like, because there's no formula anymore. There's no formula of success.
How do you figure out success when it looks differently for everyone, and there's so many different platforms of success?
I
You
think
can be IG
Yeah.
famous. You can be on YouTube and be making a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I
you
think
can
it
make
depends. It
records,
depends
all
on
of
it
that.
depends on what your goal is, right?
Okay.
So, if you want to be able to have a long term career, you're gonna need to have super fans or diehard fans of what it is
Mm-hmm.
that you do. So the easiest thing I tell artists to do is to first of all figure out know that
Your niche.
your niche, right?
Okay.
Also, too, you're a problem solver. What problems do you solve for
Other people.
your audience, right? And once you know the problem that you solve for them, and you give them a unique solution to that, they will continue to come back and support you over and over and over again. So my goal and mission is to teach interested fans. Is to take an interested fan and convert them into a supporter. The difference between a fan and support. A fan just likes your music. A supporter will spend money with you.
When you first started in the business,
Yeah.
I mean, because you went to Full Sail, yeah. Shout out to
But even
Full
before
Sail.
that, I've been doing this
You
since
were- I know.
I've been doing this
I
since
mean,
2005.
I feel like you were doing this even in high school. Let's
Well,
keep
no,
it
not
real.
high school, right after high
But
school.
you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, I knew you were
I
going
was-
to be doing this.
I was
then,
like,
you know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting because in high school we was in the magnet program.
I
We
know,
did traveling
we
touring,
were,
so I
we
thought I
were.
was going to go into the hotel industry. That's what I went.
Nah, I knew I wasn't.
But like,
I loved it. But once I really knew the ins and out of the hotel industry or like the travel industry,
Yeah.
nah, I want
Yeah,
to travel. I don't
Yeah,
want to work for
yeah,
travel.
so you
know?
gotta remember, because my first 2 years I wasn't in the management program.
I was
and
in
then-
it from 10th grade up.
And then
yeah.
Miss Harper, who is now
I
Miss
love her.
Miss
She's my son's
Witham.
teacher. Yes,
With-
Witham.
yeah.
Yes. She worked.
but yeah,
My son Chico. Shout out to Miss
but
Witham.
she recruited me into travel
Yeah.
and tourism.
That's actually how I got into it.
And so I remember, because back in the, here's what's cool about travel and tourism. Mr. Edinger, man, I used to love. So you know what we used to do? You know, he would take us to breakfast.
We're so random.
And you know what he would do? He say, "Oh,
Jack
we're
and
gonna
Mary's.
take you to breakfast." And this is how he would justify it. He would go write a paper what you had to eat. Because literally he had to justify.
Taking us to
And this-
random ass
our
breakfast.
teacher
His favorite
Would
spot.
get grades changed. He would get some.
Not mine.
Some students. I kid
What
you
are
not.
we even talking about today?
No.
We're so random with this. But
No,
yes,
we gotta say.
yes.
No, we can say it's been 20. We can go. Okay, we can talk about this now.
Oh, I don't care.
But
I didn't care back then either.
But
I
he
didn't
would
do it.
get grades changed, bro. He would. I'm like, yo, how did he get this person? Just so they can graduate.
He was persuasive.
Yeah, gotta love Mr. Edinger, man.
Listen, but when we were kids,
Yeah.
I always knew that you were gonna be in the arts because yes,
I didn't know at that time.
but I did. You were just that person. Okay, so
So you
everybody
want
knew
do you
you.
want to know how I got into the
go
entertainment
ahead.
business?
Go ahead, tell us.
So how I got into when I graduated from Colonial
Mm-hmm.
and I went to back then Valencia Community College.
Same.
Now it's Valencia College.
We went to school
Yeah.
at the same time
So
there.
my best friend at the time, Tim, had a roommate named Ian, who's like a big brother to me now.
Mm-hmm.
And Ian, I guess, did not like me at first for some reason. I don't know why. He always tells a story about how he did like I was annoying to him at first or whatever. But anyway, he decided one day to invite me to the dance crew rehearsals that he was a part of.
Okay.
So I got invited to go to the dance crews. I would just go there every week and do the practices, and we used to go to the clubs all the time. I used to go to so we can date Antigua, Dragon Room,
He's dating us.
Right.
Like we're old.
Pleasure Island.
I never went to Pleasure Island.
Although all these spots
was
that
not
don't
cool
exist
enough.
anymore. Yeah.
Did
So
you did not go Coconut.
So we used to do that, right? So our group was called Hype, Hottest Young People's Entertainment, and
Okay.
so we got hired to do Classic Weekend. So y'all know about Classic Weekend, FAMU and
Of
and the
course,
thing.
we know what classic
So-
is. It's
Oh,
coming
so-
up.
Yeah,
I'll be out.
actually on November 23rd, I think. this year. Yeah.
I'm
You
listen.
gonna be there?
Mind your business, Darrell. Answer the question.
We got hired to do the Friday night. You know they do the Battle of the Bands on the Friday.
Yes.
So we got hired to do. This was 2004. So this was like the old Magic Arena, not the one they're playing now. And we got hired to do the intermission. And so they had a whole dance routine at the end.
I remember
And at the end,
this.
there's like 18,000 people in the crowd, and they choreographed the routine so that I would come out at the end and start dancing, right? So that's how I got bit by the
remember
entertainment
this.
bug. So that's when I knew I was like 18 or 19. That's when I knew I wanted to be in the entertainment business. I knew I was going to be a creative. I said I want to go learn the business. And that's when I met my big brother, my mentor, LaShawn. We call him TS, and he took me under his wing. You know, because you know who my first artist was? Dave Vaughn. Do you remember that?
I do.
So
I'm
Dave-
not gonna even speak
So
on
Dave
that.
Vaughn,
But yes,
so Dave Vaughn,
that is hilarious.
Dave Vaughn was my very
Shout out to
first
Dave
artist.
Vaughn.
Yeah,
That's
was
wild.
my very first artist that I had. We all went to high school together, right?
Yeah, only 5 years ago
Right.
when we went to high school
And
together.
so, what happened
Dave
was
Vaughn, wow.
so Dave Vaughn, and so we used to work together. So, yeah, that's how long ago we started. But that's the short version of how I got to.
And
it.
then, because I remember that time frame,
yeah,
because we all went to Valencia. It's
yeah,
so funny.
yeah.
Listen, we go back. How do you think, or I'm going to rephrase that.
Okay.
Why do you think that from that time on, you stuck to it?
I love this stuff.
Okay.
I love
that's-
this stuff, man.
Okay.
Because you know why? Because at the entertainment industry, at the core of it, is people and relationships. And that's what I'm great at.
You've always been good at that.
People
You've
like that's
always
really
been-
what. At the end of the day, that's learning the business is not that hard. It really isn't. What's hard is maintaining the relationships, understanding
and
people.
keeping people engaged.
Understanding
right?
people,
Mhm.
understanding that this is a game, and you gotta know who the players are, and you gotta understand
You
how.
gotta be a key player too.
You gotta understand.
be
You gotta
involved
you gotta understand. Like everybody's not gonna be your personal friend, but they can be your professional friend. Like everybody's, you're not gonna talk to everybody every day. Some people you will build real connections with, and real friendships with, in the end. But sometimes they'll just be your network, and that means. And here's the key to that: you don't always just call somebody when you need them. You call somebody just to check on them. I
Hey,
do it
how
all.
you doing?
I do it all the time. How you
same,
how
same,
you doing? Because at the end of the day, we all have that person in our family or our friends that they only call when they want something from you.
Nobody likes to answer
And
for
no-
those
right.
people.
So
Nobody
you
wants
always
to
want-
help those
So
people.
you always want to
Yeah.
make sure you just check on people and see how they're doing because they know that that's genuine. You're not just calling because you need something from them. So I've always kind of used that approach.
So relationships.
For sure.
What is your deepest relationship? And this is not just in a like in a business setting, just in personal. Like, what is your deepest relationship to date?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have.
You do. You just got to think. Everybody has that one person that keeps them connected, keeps them grounded, and keeps them. You know, like we were talking in the car. Yes, we rode together, and but we were talking in the car about how, like, when you have that kind of close bond with someone, it just
Yeah.
stands the test of time.
Yeah.
There's somebody that I'm sure you have that even if you didn't talk every day, but that keeps you real, because there's times where this industry eats you alive, spits you out a couple times, right?
That's my big brother TS. Then,
Okay,
man. I mean,
then
because
good.
I mean,
But yeah, and
you know,
why?
and because you know, I remember that when we first met, we actually met at the Applebee's on Alafaya and YUCF.
Yes.
With that
I
Del
know
Taco, with that Del
Applebee's
Taco, right?
Mhm.
So he was waiting tables there, and we had met. He's 6'6". He's like 5 years older than me, and we had played phone tag for like a couple weeks. And when we finally linked up with Davon, he took me.
Devon.
He
I'm
took,
still
he
laughing.
took,
I'm sorry.
He took us to this home studio. You see the movie Hustle and Flow when when they're in the that kind of spot, and he's working,
And you're like, who the hell? What are we doing here?
and he's
Yeah.
right, and he's working with this artist named Kennedy, which
Okay.
really wasn't dope, but whatever. So but
Dang.
Davon,
Shots fired.
Davon, we just want to go meet him or whatever. Go meet. So anyway, so Sean kind of just took me under his wing and sat down with my mom and said, "Look, my mom don't really, even to this day, she don't know much about the entertainment business, even though both her kids are in the entertainment industry. Because Keisha's in the entertainment business and I am, but she's more in front of the camera, like she's more,
Okay. Yeah.
she does voiceover acting.
Who
also.
who gives you that feeling of home? And I don't even think that's your mom. And I know this answer, I feel like, but go ahead.
Feeling of home?
Yeah, like there's always someone, because there's someone that keeps you grounded, but there's also always someone that just feels like you go back and it's just like when we were kids. Who's that for you?
That's a good.
As you grab the wine, you're like, dang, making you feel, making you think.
I think that's when I see my guys like Alex and Esteban and Brano McClone, like Obey. Those guys,
All the old school guys.
those guys are my brothers. So even though we
Yeah.
don't get to see each other often, because Alex lives in Michigan now, and
Mhm.
all of us don't see each other all the time. But like when we get together,
That's crazy that we're
Like,
friends
we're
with
just-
the same people
we're
from high
just
school.
we're just fam.
Yeah.
It's fam. You
Yeah.
know, so I always love seeing those guys when we get it. We don't get together often these days. But we used to be super tight. Andrew, Santista, Alex.
I know who all of them
all
are.
those
yeah.
guys. What's crazy is Alex and Andrew and I went to elementary. We didn't know each other back then. We went to elementary school together, but we didn't know each other. We went
Meant
to
to be,
Dearwood.
Deerwood Elementary.
Yeah.
That was before my time here in Florida, but yes,
Yeah.
I came from more middle school time frame,
Yeah.
late elementary. What is a legacy you want to leave behind? Like if you were gone tonight,
Yeah.
anything that you would want people to remember you for?
Hopefully that I just loved people. I think everybody that knows me knows I love people. I love, like, that's why I'm in this industry, because it's about people. I just love to
Same.
see people smile, see people, because at the end of the day, we're going through, the country is going through so much, unrest right now. And we won't go, we'll keep it that simple.
We'll keep it PG and away from politics.
Right.
But yes.
But we're going through.
Yes.
So just try to just make people just smile and understand that, like, at the end of the day, we're just people, and we're just like, we need each other. Like we can't look. None of us can achieve anything without the help of somebody else. None of us are that good. None of us are that good by ourselves. We need people. We need relationships. So I want to be known as somebody that was genuine in helping others.
And who inspires you in any way? Who's someone that you look to? And it doesn't even have to be someone that you know. Because everybody, I feel like when I ask questions like this, always give me like kind of the blanket, like my child, my this. But like it could be an artist. It could be someone you've never met before, but that's a true inspiration to you. Who really has kept that motor running for Mr. Darrell?
I mean, I've never met him, but I think early on, the inspiration was like Russell Simmons, was like people like that.
I feel like I knew that.
Just because of like what he meant to the culture, you know what I'm saying, and things like that.
Beyond just being the artist, but being behind the music, being clothing, I get that. I get that. Talk about your clothing. Look, we're talking about clothing just now, and I'm like, hello, you're wearing it. Tell people.
So it's my brand, Encouraging Inspire. So my company's called Double N Management, and my groups of the Double N stands for Encouraging Inspire. So usually, whenever you see me, I always have my brand on, because I'm like, look,
you're a walking billboard.
Nike gets enough promotion. They don't need any more mine, right? So usually when you'll see me with my brand, but Encourage and Inspire, because I just love to encourage and inspire people.
That's why
and I think
I love the name of your podcast. I told you that when you started it. I was like, I love the name.
Right.
And then talk about what you're wearing on your head, because
this is actually part of my apparel that's not even technically out yet, but
because I need one of those, by the way.
So this is the 5-panel trucker, best trucker hat, but the TTA stands for. So the tagline is Encourage and Inspire through the arts every day.
Arts every day.
So because my playground is the arts, right? So, but Encourage and Inspire could be for anything, right? And that's why I love it so much. But this is just kind of a play on that, and this is one of my hats that part of the apparel that will be out at some point, probably next year, officially. But I get
Don't forget your sister. I'm just saying.
And
how'd you go from music to podcasting? And I know they go hand in hand because you talk about it,
right?
And you talk a lot of, like, you're teaching people through your podcast,
right.
But it's a leap.
Well, no, I mean, going back to LaShawn Latias, like, he kind of stepped away from the music space and he really got involved in podcasting around 2016, and then when he decided to launch God What You Need Podcast Network, he asked me, bro, like, why don't you ever thought about doing your own podcast? And I said, you know what? I think that's a good idea. So I said, okay, what will my podcast? I want to say, okay, how is this going to be an extension of my brand? So I said, okay, the Encourage and Inspire podcast. And usually the Encourage and Inspire podcast, I talk about one of 3 topics. Usually disability awareness, or the music business topic, or just people who have encouraging, inspiring stories that I just want to interview. I think that'd be cool.
That's where we're similar.
Yeah.
And that's why we're having you on the show. Because in reality, like, and we were talking about this earlier, how our personalities have always been, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted you on the show probably season 1.
Okay.
But things just didn't work out that way.
Right.
We're now season 3, towards the end of season 3, and it's just, I've been watching more and more, and I wanted to tell you because now I'm going to get emotional. See? I told you, I make people cry, but I think mind your business, Aunt. You see my studio manager is fired. The fact of the matter is that, like, I've watched you grow. So I've seen you as a child. Like, we were kids.
Yeah,
we were stupid
14.
kids that did
13,
dumb, stupid things. And we were close. Like, there was times where travel and tourism, we did all kinds of stuff together.
Yeah.
And that group of kids, I feel like those are the friends that I still keep in contact with.
Right.
Truly, to this day.
Right.
But I watched you walk the halls of class. Listen, I gotta find that picture and post it. The picture of us at homecoming.
Do we?
I have to find
you
it
gotta
because
send
I
it.
sent it to you a long, like, I don't know
Okay.
how long
If
ago.
you find it, send it to me.
No, I'll find it, and I wanted it here, but I couldn't find it.
Okay.
But I think I know where I have it.
Okay.
But I've watched you. I mean, you were homecoming king that
Yeah.
night.
And that was an interesting story. You remember the origin of that story?
You almost weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
remember.
'cause I remember. Well, the year
Go ahead,
before,
you
the
can
year
tell it.
before that, our junior year,
Mm-hmm.
I went for the court. And remember, I didn't, and because
You didn't even
because
come on. Yeah.
3 people. Remember, because because junior year, freshman you get, I think you got one couple or
couple.
2. One couple. I think you had like 2, and then I think junior you had 3, and then senior you had 4 couples,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. So I remember I tried it for junior year, and I didn't get on, and everybody was like, "Oh, come back next year. We're gonna make sure you get on." Everybody was telling me like, "We're gonna make sure." 'Cause
I mean, I know I voted.
it
for
was
you.
like a popularity, it was like a pop.
And it genuinely is,
Yeah.
right? So
So I remember I got onto the court, and so Michael Lattimore was a football player, good dude.
I know who he is.
You know what I'm
To this
saying?
day, hey Mike.
And I,
He's on some social media of mine somewhere. Yeah.
so I remember when they announced my name that I beat him or whatever. I remember he cried on the field.
Listen, all I know is like, hey, homecoming.
But
the game
you know
was
what's
great.
but you know what's interesting? I went to the dance by myself because in high school, all the dances I went by myself because nobody would go with me. No, I never had a date.
And now you're on Sujay's podcast.
Yeah,
Tell him.
yeah.
Tell him. Like,
So,
oh, look at me now.
So I went on 2 dates in high school.
Okay.
Well, yeah, probably 2. One was Charnay Gaston. You know.
You're telling people's full names on
She's
here?
cool. Charnay's cool.
Okay, I know who she is.
I got love for
know who.
Charnay.
Okay.
I got love for Charnay. And then I forgot who the other person was, but it wasn't. So,
I can't stand you.
but I mean, I was very popular in school. I wasn't necessarily. I didn't necessarily have a lot of.
The thing is
girlfriends.
that you had charisma and you were just a people person,
Right.
right? So that's why I tell people like it's not about being the coolest or the most popular. I don't give a crap about that. It's
Right.
like who leaves that impression.
Right.
Tell me of a person at Colonial High School,
Right.
our graduating class, or even the one under that
Right.
doesn't know who you are.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what I really wanted to hone down on is like you came from that, and I feel like maybe the dating game isn't exactly where you needed to be,
Right.
but you've come such a long way from the kid that
Right.
couldn't walk and you have your own business. Like
Right.
who can say that?
Right.
Exactly.
Well, for me, it's just like I get to pursue something I love to do, and even when the days where it's hard and difficult, because it absolutely is very difficult.
Anything
and hard.
worth it is hard.
But I love that I get to make a difference in the lives of people. That's why I do it.
Amen.
And I know that when it comes to dating, I know that
There'll
Yeah.
be somebody.
I think this too. Whatever it is you want, if it's something you want, I take it very seriously. So like
Amen. Me too.
when I am out, cause I like online dating. Some people don't like it. You don't like it.
Hell no.
You don't?
No,
So-
I can't. Listen. My story is weird because I haven't really dated in my life like that. So I don't know what to tell you.
I
but that's
like
not for
online
me.
dating because it's a way to like you meet people you probably would never ever meet
I understand that.
in a traditional setting.
I just feel like I'm a person where energy is involved,
For sure.
and I don't like talking to like if I've met you or sometimes it's cool like talk chit chat, good conversation, cool. But most people don't like to really conversate.
True.
And I just can't do that. I need a good conversation. I need the energy feeling. I need to know that you're not going to at putting on my shoes. Like I don't know. I need to know this in advance.
That's funny.
What is something that you wish people knew about you? That maybe not so obvious.
Oh man.
Surprise me, because I feel like I know you well. So surprise me. I wasn't gonna ask you easy
You
questions.
put me on the spot.
Of course. What is something that you wish people knew about you? You got skeletons.
How to give you in trouble.
How?
Look.
You said some things on here that could have gotten you in trouble. This is not one of
That's
them.
true. That's true. That's true. We wish they knew about me.
Mhm.
Oh man, you know. That's a good question. Can I say? Oh, I know. I like true. I like to watch a lot of true crime.
You're my bestie. This is.
I like.
I already. I
I'm
knew
very.
that
I'm
about
very.
you. I'm a true crime freak.
I'm very fascinated why people do what they do.
I agree with that. That's why I like it,
Yeah.
because it's not what you did, like,
Yeah.
because what you did is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's how you got there.
Right.
That's the whole point of my podcast. Really, is like
Yeah.
people have a whole story. People see the glory of things, right? People
Mm-hmm.
see, he's in music. He looks like he's doing well.
Mhm.
But like, how did you get here?
Right.
So I'm so fascinated by that I started a podcast. But true crime is about that. I'll go deep. I'll go be
It's-
like,
It's
what the
it's
hell?
interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's a
Down to their childhood.
and it's a genre. Obviously, you know, you have. I mean, they create like all kind of series around it.
I knew about Jeffrey Dahmer before this whole series came out. I was like, okay, they told the story right. Like, I'm that psycho.
Okay.
So okay, I met another psycho. Cool.
Right. No,
What-
it's-
If you could change anything about the music industry, what would it be?
just the, you know, for me, it's just the what's it? Oh man.
I'm super comfortable today. I'm just chilling with Darrell, like
Well,
we're
what
just
would I
sitting on
cha-
my couch.
What would change? I mean, really, just honestly, just change all the fuckery that goes on in the game. You know, a lot of people that's two-faced in this business.
Okay.
You know, people that you can't, you know.
More keep it real people, more.
Or just what it
genuine
is like
people.
people like sometimes you don't really know who you really dealing with, and
Okay.
sometimes
I agree
and
with that.
sometimes you gotta deal with people even though you know they're not good. They're not good people to deal with.
And this is a random ass question, but I'm gonna ask it because it's a current event thing.
Okay.
How do you feel about the Diddy situation?
Oh man! Oh no! That.
See, I just brought it up because hey,
No,
you said
I
you
think-
said that, and
think,
I agree.
I think that was learned behavior. I think when you get to a certain level of success, because this industry, drug sex,
I don't feel like it's a learned behavior. I think he's been this person from before the
Well,
industry.
I think
It propelled,
I
it grew.
I think you know,
Yes, it manifested because he has money.
The entertainment business is drug, sex, and rock and roll. It just
Absolutely.
and whatever your vices are, they give you.
They will
more,
come
They
out.
give you
Yeah,
more
exactly.
Of it, right? So I think
Here's the
that-
money to do
And
all
I
the
think
things
Diddy,
that you.
I think Diddy had this God. I think he had a God complex. I think he thought that he had so much power.
Okay.
You know, because had the whole situation with Cassie not happened, I don't think he.
None of this
I
would
don't think he
become
would.
to
I
light.
don't think he'd be-
Even though this has been going on probably 15, 20
long
years
time.
at least.
I mean, they're trying to hit this guy with a RICO, like with a criminal enterprise. You know what I'm saying? That man might never be free. He might never be out of prison. He might.
Do you think that that's justified though? Let's keep it real. You could, yay or nay. My opinion is not your opinion. You could go ahead and say whatever you want.
I think that, you know, I think the problem with Diddy is that, again, like I said, he had the God complex. He feel like he could just do whatever he wanted to do just because he's Diddy. You know,
I agree.
because here's my thing, we as human beings naturally, we're not really built to deal with fame and fortune. It's not a natural thing. You get to a certain level of fame and fortune, you really do think you're invincible. I really do think.
I wouldn't know.
I mean, you
like,
don't
yeah,
know,
of
but
course,
but just in
but
general.
I understand
like you
that.
can tell, like, you know, because like we talk about in the car, when you're a celebrity, you live in a warped reality.
I agree with that, but not all celebrities do the things that he does.
Oh yeah, no.
So this
yeah,
is
yeah.
just a
But
human
al-
being.
yeah,
Like,
but I also
yeah.
think too. Look, he comes from an era too of the music, let's say with R. Kelly, where you want to be on so bad that
That
you're
you
willing
did
to,
by any
you're willing
means
to do whatever it is
necessary.
you
I
need
agree.
to do because you
Yeah.
just want. And so when you come from that era of feeling, you start to feel like you have ultimate power, and then he's videotaping again. Now I'm not gonna play Cassie completely off the hook because she won the lifestyle, and what comes with.
For me, and I'm sorry to interrupt
ahead,
you. For
go ahead.
me,
What was done to her was wrong. Was not good,
absolutely
but-
wrong. So I will never condone someone doing the things that he's done to her. What I do think is that he had her music career by the balls, so to speak. But that's still, For me, if it's my music career or my sanity and my getting abused all the time,
Yeah.
I'm a walk. So
Yeah.
that was a choice she still had to
Yeah,
make.
because you gotta realize,
And
she,
it's a choice
she went
you
from
made,
she went
right?
from Ryan Leslie.
I
She went,
agree.
she went from Ryan Leslie to Diddy, and Ryan Leslie, Diddy was managing Ryan Leslie at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and so she probably felt, okay, well, Diddy has more power and prestige and because I think women are natural hypergamous. You know what that means?
I do know what that means, but I agree for the most part. I know I'm not. But I'm also this weird. You know how I'm just
Yeah.
weird. I think that when you want to dream bad enough,
Yeah,
you do. She was doing the same thing Diddy was doing.
yeah,
It's just that he's the one with the fist.
yeah.
But at some point, you have to make a decision. Is your music career worth it? Because you still lost your music career at the end of the day. Because who's gonna sign Cassie? And like, let's be honest. After all this, she still lost.
Yeah,
So was it worth it?
Yeah.
In my opinion, no. Your
It's true.
dignity is never worth it.
yeah, because
It is never
she's
worth
she's-
losing that.
She's forever connected to this situation.
Absolutely, no matter what. And it's not
and
to her. It's not. It's to her detriment. But
Yeah.
at the end
And
of the day,
again,
you chose that.
And I think they want to. I think they want
Yeah.
to make it. I mean, put it to you like this: they let Young Thug get as of this record. He went home. Who was it that they just who Young Thug? But something else. Someone else. I saw on the news that they offered. They had to pay a fine. They offered the government $50 million
For bail.
50 to get out, and they said no. So that tells you this is bigger.
But
because
there's
because
things that we just
I
don't know,
think
too.
because
Yeah.
to me he's not the big fish. He's just the one that got caught. He's the one they went after. I think there's way bigger fish.
If you're talking sex trafficking,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think there's way bigger fish, especially like politicians. There's also, we're not gonna get into politics, but
we're not. But in
there's-
general
there are-
speaking,
there
yes,
are-
there's a
there-
lot.
there
There's
are-
a lot.
There
Yeah,
are
yeah,
bigger
yeah.
names.
Mm-hmm.
There are bigger names other than Diddy that are probably involved in this whole situation. And I think Diddy is going to eventually. I don't think he's going to be loyal to nobody. I think if it comes down to it, he's going to try to save himself. He's going to tell.
He already ratting.
Listen, he's becoming a singer as we speak. What are you talking? Of course,
Because
it's
you
never
gotta
going to
remember,
be
'cause
him.
They charge you with
Yeah.
a racketeer. You need at least 5 people to be considered for it to be a racket. All right. So that means there's going to be more arrests coming soon. There has to be because it's a RICO case.
1,000 bottles of baby oil.
All I know is
Right.
I ain't in it, so I'm
Right.
okay.
That's
What-
wild. That's
what
wild.
would you-
Federal in itself
Look at?
is like,
Listen,
that's
Ant
wild.
needs to come on this. But anyway,
That's wild though. I mean, that's just and again, like, look, people are allowed to be freaky. We'll call it like that. Whatever they want to do.
I saw a podcast that said that. Listen, at the end of the day,
That's
what
not-
you
that-
do
that-
is none of
that-
my
yeah,
business.
that's
It's
the-
what you
that's-
do illegally
Right.
that comes out is, at the end of the day,
Exactly.
it really is.
And I think
don't
that-
care.
I think that.
But I think it's
Diddy,
disgusting.
Again, Diddy has a God complex. The man has a God complex. I just really feel that way. I think that.
Do you think the music industry in general has that? Because I know people that are poor that are local.
No,
I'm such an
it's
asshole,
not-
but
not in
that are
general.
local artists
but
that
no,
still
but-
have the same complex.
No,
So
but
what is it?
No, but because you gotta realize that was a different era. Like we talked about this before.
I agree.
Like,
that he
was
he
an
came
era
up
where
in the
that was an era where
90s and stuff. Yeah.
You needed somebody else. You still do to an extent today, but not in the same way. So when you go from this man was worth $400 million, $500 million.
At the end of the day,
And-
though, he was doing it to this day. So
Yeah.
what was necessary maybe in the 90s and early 2000s wasn't necessary a year ago, and he was
Yeah.
still doing what he
Yeah.
was still doing.
Yeah, because again,
Yeah.
when you got away with it and you literally feel, I mean, you gotta think about it. They just gave him the key to the city last year.
Exactly.
Like they just like it wasn't like he wasn't like he was being shunned away. Like they was rocking. He just got a lifetime achievement award at like the VMAs or something. So it wasn't like Diddy was this guy that nobody was talking to or talking about.
But neither was what's his name?
Epstein.
No, I'm talking about music. R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Even though there was rumors and things that came out,
Yeah.
he was still there was actual videos. Well,
Yeah.
Diddy has videos,
Yeah.
but there was videos we saw. We were still playing it at the club. We were still. So I'm one of those people. Like if you choose to play R. Kelly in the background, I'm not gonna
Well,
be mad.
I'm the type of person.
I'm not playing it.
I'm the type of person where
because-
I can separate R. Kelly from Robert Kelly. That's just me. I can't deny that this man is a musical genius.
Absolutely.
I can't deny
One
that.
of my favorite artists
that
of all
his-
time.
You know, but
At the time,
but
but I just have no respect
I
for
think
him.
I think Robert Kelly has a lot of demons and issues. You
But
know,
so does Diddy. They're
Yeah.
doing the same thing.
right.
It's just Diddy did it in a different way where we're not seeing it as nasty, but it really is the same
Yeah.
thing. You know, at the end
They're
of the
saying
day.
he's hiring sex workers and all these type of things. And my thing is like
drugging
this.
people.
My thing is like this. You know, and again, people also too. They used to always say, "Oh, ain't nothing like a Diddy party," but they used to always say like what Diddy was doing was you had the party, but then you had the after party.
And
After
after
party.
the party is the
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, I think because you have to keep it. You have to you got to save face a little bit, right? So you can't do all the stuff crazy. You know, but when it gets 2-3, it's 2-3 in the
He knew
morning.
what he was
it's 2-3.
doing.
It's 2-3 o'clock in the morning. You know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? And if you
my butt is home.
and
I
if
don't
you-
know where
and if you were no, because think about it.
Basically.
Let's be real. This is the same thing about Bill Cosby. If you go to somebody's hotel room at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know what? You ain't going there to chit chat. You're just not.
I'm a plead the fifth on that because
just saying.
I
And
Again,
am I being
I
real,
wasn't
bro?
there. Not my
Like,
story.
I mean, because let's take back to Bill Cosby, right? Bill Cosby built this wholesome brand, right? That America's Dad. But that was a persona. That really why it wasn't who he was.
And he never said he was that person.
Right.
We
but
gave him
but
that
we built,
title.
He built this persona of America's Dad. But this guy used to have women and give him preludes back then, and like preludes, right? Whatever it was, like, and he because again, if you want same thing with the whole casting couch thing, if you want a certain level of fame, you think, okay, if I go
So do you
if I
think-
go do this with a Bill Cosby, a Harvey Weinstein, that type of deal, and they're gonna get to where I want to go, because look, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's only, at least in the music industry, there's only 4 ways, from a woman's perspective. There's only 4 ways you pay people in this business.
Keep it. I'm
No.
trying to see what you say.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no.
I might contest it, but go ahead.
It's money,
Mm-hmm.
barter, relationship, and sex. It's only 4 ways.
Okay.
And so you got to pick it, because you got to give. I tell people all the time, you got to give something up. What are you willing to give up to get?
So you think in the music industry for women, it's not really about talent? No, and I answer that honestly. I
to
just
me,
really truly
to me,
want
it
to know.
is. But again, it talent isn't always. It's not always.
Well, and it
always
can.
the
Do you
determining
think it
factor.
just could take you so far?
Yeah, I mean, talent. You know, it's way more than talent, though. This is to make it.
I mean, and you have to have a worth ethic like no other. I get that,
yeah.
but do you think women really like it? They have to give up something.
I mean,
Like you said, from a woman's
but nothing's
perspective,
free,
so-
right?
yeah.
So you have to, if you know somebody has something that you want,
I agree with that.
what do
to
you?
a certain
What you got to
extent.
get you? What do you want to? If you could, again, my times as the artist, you don't have nothing that's valuable to them. But they
But
have
you
something
said
that's
from a
valuable to-
woman's perspective, so men don't have to go through the same thing. I'm just wondering. This is
I
not
think
a,
I think it has happened to men, but in
absolutely,
a
but it's
different way.
different.
Because I don't think I think there's a lot of gay people in the business. And
I agree.
I think it's going on.
Which
So
nothing's wrong
but-
with being gay. It's
right,
just the
there's no-
problem
but I think
is the culture.
by the way, they were saying if you look at the Biggie Big Papa video, and you notice this, that girl in the video is a transgender.
Which video?
The Big Papa video.
We're getting too deep.
No, but what they're saying was that was they were gonna try to push that into hip hop culture, because hip hop culture is known to be a masculine but
Very,
if
very
you,
machismo.
But if you go look
yeah.
at she's in the Big Papa video. She's also in the Warning video. It's the same girl, and they're saying that was Hype Williams' chick. Hype Williams was, because he was the director of those videos, and they're saying that they were gonna push that in the culture, but that got stopped. But so a lot of that stuff was going on. A lot of that stuff behind the scenes was going on.
So I would change that about the culture of hip hop. I love
So like, for instance,
hip-hop.
like you don't. How many quote unquote gay rappers, as for men,
Only one. I know only one or
you know,
two.
you have like you have some you have lesbian.
I know only
You have
one or
you
two.
have like the brat. I mean, she's a,
I get it, but when it comes to men,
yeah. I don't know if you have anybody who is it? Who the one you know? Besides like Bobby Light or whatever his name is from reality TV.
what about? Well, he's not even a rapper. I feel like he's in the culture though. What's his name? I'm not saying names. Now I feel bad. I'm talking about. But
People don't know you.
It's okay. At the end of the day, I feel like that's what I would change because the closed-mindedness is what's getting us the Diddies of the world.
Yeah.
Because they can't live their true selves out,
True.
right?
True.
So, do you think? And I'm going to wrap this up. But do you think? And we talked about this. It's so crazy that we're like,
Yeah.
but being your truest self and
Right.
your truest form
Right.
is the art. Because I feel like we're losing that from, and not just hip hop, in all art forms.
Right.
Being the authenticity is missing because you can't be in certain cultures. You can't be your truest
That's
form,
true.
right?
Right.
So that's what I would change, truly, from all art. Because yes, we live in a hip hop culture. We love it. This is what we do. But at the end of the day, you cannot be your fullest form.
That's true.
And so
I
that's what I would change.
No, I agree with that. I think that, authenticity is always.
But that's all round
Yeah.
authenticity. So if you're hiding, and we talked about it for another form, but if you're hiding who you truly are, are you really being authentic?
Right.
And then how can you create, I mean, I know there's personas out there, but if you're really trying to get to an artist, right? If a Picasso was gay and hiding it, if whatever the case is being, they're not really being their truest self.
Right.
So that's truly like where I wish the whole Diddy scandal, the whole R. Kelly scandal, there's many scandals, right? But if
a lot
that
of
can
it-
change
yeah.
in the art and the music industry, then I feel like then that would be, it would be a better place. Be your gay self, be your this
Yeah.
self, be whoever the hell you want to be,
Yeah.
but create authentic.
Yeah, because
whatever.
I think it's a persona that I think, especially in hip hop, that men have to be. Or you have to be.
Because we've told them to.
Yeah.
Because for 51 years, like we were speaking,
Mm-hmm.
for 51 years, and maybe and some,
Right.
we have created a culture of like, this is what a hip hop artist is.
Yeah.
Nothing more and nothing less.
Right.
You cannot be this.
Right. For sure. I agree.
Who's Tyler the Creator? Is he gay? He's gay.
Is he? I'm not sure. Is he?
I don't think he's really gay. I think he just be using.
And that's another thing then how, that's terrible. That's the person that came to mind and he's not even gay.
I'm not sure if he is or
About
not.
Lil Nas X.
Not that it
Lil
matters.
Nas X. Lil
That,
Nas X
that's
is.
another, yeah.
Yeah.
That boy gay.
I want you to tell people where they can purchase whatever,
Yeah.
any of your clothing line, where they can find your podcast, and where they can find you.
Okay. Well, you guys can find me on social media at Darrell Peart. That's
Peart.
DURELL
I forget the U.
PEART. So that's Darrell Peart. My website, DarrellPeart.com. None of this is officially for sale, but if the hats will be soon.
Okay.
But you can DM me if you want it, and if you want the jersey,
This is me telling you I want a jersey and I want a hat.
yeah.
Okay.
So
You heard it live.
we'll make sure I get it to you.
And I want to thank you guys. Look, it was literally like catching up with a friend.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen you in a while. Last time we saw each other was for not so happy occasions. So.
Yeah.
And we will be coming soon
For
to
sure.
something.
Oh, the Encouraging Inspire podcast.
Go tell them.
Yeah, the
what
Encouraging-
platform?
On all platforms, everywhere you can get listen to podcasts on
Mm-hmm.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere.
Showing off.
Yeah,
Showing
so-
out.
We
Well,
actually just dropped a podcast today.
you did?
Shay Watson is a music producer, songwriter, producer out of Nashville, Tennessee. So that dropped. That's live on Spotify. So, but we're
check it out.
we're like 90, I think 91 episodes, 92 episodes in.
I don't even know how many episodes total we have. This is
Yeah.
season 3 and you're episode 17.
Okay.
So I started with a friend of mine in her living room, and
Yeah, I know her.
well, yeah, you do know Nikki.
Yeah, me and Nikki, I know her for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Orlando's small.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. Next week, we're going to have a special episode there. And what else? Announcements. I got stuff. Wait, before we go. So, food drive. We are doing a food drive November 12th, 6:30. We're going to be at the studio. So OWrap Studio is sponsoring, as well as Jennifer Vasquez, a realtor. If you want to sponsor, if you want to help, if you want to donate, if you want to come hang out, we'll have some snacks and beverages. We'll make it like a party. This is a second annual Food is Love drive. So please, please, please reach out to me. We're sponsoring families particularly. So if you know anyone, any family, any one person, that's a family, right? that may need, especially now during the holiday season coming up, please reach out to me. So it's at Aspired J. That's my handle. And you can do it on the podcast, Aspired Podcast. And also at the website is aspiredpodcast.com. Or just like, if you know me, hey girl, I know somebody. But it's really important. Food is love. Genuinely, like, I live by that. If you know my story, you know how important like food has been, and when people don't have it, I feel like that's just the worst thing that you can go through. So please reach out to me. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.